Major League Pickleball rolls on from Mesa, Arizona, and it's a matchup between the unbeaten Seattle Pioneers taking on the Las Vegas Night Owls. Coming up on Championship Court next, Michelle McMahon, Cameron Irwin, Adam Stone in the booth with you for this one. Cameron Blackwood joins us from the sideline, and this is an intriguing matchup for many reasons. Guys, you've been covering some incredible pickleball all morning. I don't know if your heart's still beating from that last Dream Breaker match we just saw, but Adam, starting with you, significance-wise, this is a huge matchup. Starting with the ladies, it's Vivienne David, Lauren Stratman taking on Etta Wright and Meghan Dizon. The ladies matchup is huge in Major League Pickleball, but this one in particular, the Seattle Pioneers, playing for seeding, playing for that buy into the semifinal round. And if you're the Las Vegas Night Owls, you're playing to just hang on and punch your ticket to the quarterfinals. What are you seeing in this matchup in terms of strategy?
Well, this is definitely an intriguing matchup, and my wild card for this match is Etta Wright. She has not had a huge sample size on the tournament scene, but her talent is through the roof. She already has a competent soft game and some electric power in her paddle. If she plays well, it's going to be very, very, very difficult for Las Vegas.
Well, and to your point about Etta Wright, she has been somebody that has just completely taken this pickleball scene by storm. One of the things that impresses me the most is her background, right? She comes from not only tennis, badminton, any paddle sport you could imagine, also ping pong. I mean, everything this woman can do with a paddle in her hand, she is capable of. I love watching her in the transition zone. I think she's so steady with her footwork, her ability to play balls both on the right and left side of her ball in that transition zone, just so steady. She's also got a pretty wicked backhanded flick. Rare in the women's game right now. There's only about 4 or 5 women that can do so, so she's definitely a threat to most of these women.
Etta Wright says mental grit and her backhand is her biggest strength in pickleball. As for Lauren Stratman, she says being aggressive is hers, based out of Austin, Texas. Her duper rank is 23rd. She is right-handed, 28 years old. If you're Lauren Stratman, how are you approaching this matchup with your partner being Vivienne David?
Well, you said it perfectly. Lauren likes to hit the ball hard. She's at her best when she is being aggressive, and when you have an electric, possibly best in the game, two-handed backhand in the middle from Vivienne David, it kind of gives you that mental free reign to go for your shots when you know you have that kind of backup.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now you look at Vivienne David, also just one of the most steady rocks on the court. She is primarily a right side player who has just shown her chops in so many regards. She has great hip mobility, her ability to drop down and find balls at the kitchen line. We love the scorpion that we see from her on a regular basis, but she's just so steady in her approach, and she seems to be getting more and more aggressive in 2023.
Also on the screen, Kaitlyn Kerr, one of the part owners of this team, as is Tom Brady and Kim Clijsters, Tom Wagner, Matt Alvarez, Callie Simpkins, an incredibly talented and experienced group. Kyle Yates, Dekel, 2 of the most well-known, experienced players in the sport. This team is composed, and they are ready to go here on Talking Stick Resort Championship Court. And again, the Seattle Pioneers general manager Dave Fleming, courtside, giving us a smile from the booth, managing his team accordingly. Seattle Pioneers, owned by pickleball.com. Of course, they have the legendary Ben Johns on their side in the men's front, which will be taking place after this women's doubles matchup. So that is the general manager, Dave Fleming. Hello, Dave. Tyler Loong, the other gentleman on the side of the Pioneers. The coin flip is complete, and that means first serve is almost underway here on Championship Court. Vivienne David will lead us off. Vivienne David serving to Meghan Dizon. Error off the start, and the Seattle Pioneers will take point number 1.
I like the shake and bake. Nice drive and nice poach. Just couldn't come up with it. No big deal.
Seattle.
Oh, I mean, amazing patience, and that was we talked about with Etta Wright. A lot of you, when you come out of the gates in pickleball, often you have that power. She has the soft game early in her career, which is unusual.
Meghan Dizon with the serve. Seattle up 2-0. Down the middle, Stratman finds the opening.
Yeah, phenomenal job by Lauren Stratman finding the middle of the court. And as we can see early in this match, they are very much looking to target Lauren Stratman.
There's the aggression. Lauren Stratman says she possesses. She'll take the serve to Wright.
To your point, I would also add they're going with Etta Wright as well, finding that middle ball. It seems like pretty substantially now between Dizon and Wright. I think you want to stay away from that Etta Wright backhand right now. Everything's on that forehand side up the middle.
John, top of the tape, just shy.
Yeah, nice drive from Lauren Stratman. And exactly right, you mentioned it, Cameron. There's only a handful of ladies that really have that whip on the one-handed backhand. Etta Wright has it.
Stratman into the net. She goes. Did you like that drive choice?
Yeah, completely fine with it. Maybe not totally moving forward, but that's her game, and I'm completely fine with her going for those drives, especially with Vivienne David cleaning up.
Stratman goes for it again, sails it long. How about the patience of Etta Wright with those drops into the kitchen?
Well, I think that's a testament also to the dinks of what Lauren Stratman's not allowing her to do with much of a speed up there.
Dizon goes for it. Vivienne David comes up short on the scoreboard.
No, great shot from Meghan Dizon. Just kind of held it to the last second, catching Vivienne David off balance. Beautiful attack from Meghan.
David goes down the middle, just a bit long there. So the Pioneers with an early lead, looking to be the first to 11, and the end change. Etta Wright back to serve. The dinking power on display for Lauren Stratman. Cameron, to your point just a moment ago.
Yeah, and I think that, again, Lauren Stratman continuing to try and find Etta Wright late covering middle. It seems like that's where the opportunity is, especially with Stratman having that aggressive forehand roll attack up the middle.
Dizon speeds it up. It doesn't work.
Yeah, one out of two. Caught her on the first one, but Vivienne David, as I mentioned, with that electric two-handed backhand counter, you're going to be hard-pressed to get her too many times in a row.
Yeah, you're going to have to find the right side of her body for sure.
Dizon catches the baseline, an aggressive shot. Pop-up error on the other side.
I think it's probably some of the best full-on put-away power in the game, Meghan Dizon.
Just long that time, catches the ball behind.
Yeah, just a little handcuffed by Lauren Stratman. Couldn't get full extension with the contact point out in front.
The Las Vegas Night Owls finding some momentum. Don't look now. This is a one-point game, and the beauty of rally scoring here with Major League Pickleball. What a rip from Stratman, just wide. David wants that one back.
Oh, that was a perfect camera shot with a little hug. You saw David's shoulders just slouch down like, what else are you looking for, Vivienne?
I guess if you need a hug, you can just give one to yourself.
There you go.
Take hugs anywhere they can get them. David just owning the line with authority at the kitchen.
Yeah, sustained pressure from Vivienne David on the kitchen line. Phenomenal strokes, deep power spin. She had it all on that point.
8-9.
What defense attempt by the Owls, but Seattle just too strong on every attempt.
Great last angle from Etta Wright. You gotta love the way she's attacking the outside of the court right there.
Incredible defense from the Seattle Pioneers.
Yeah, great eye from Etta Wright there as well. And I want to bring up one thing. Personally, in my pickleball career, I'm usually the one getting targeted, but right now, Lauren Stratman is. And what I want to say is sometimes that's difficult for Vivienne David, who's not getting a lot of balls, not necessarily feeling the rhythm, and I expect them to continue to target Lauren Stratman throughout this match. So hopefully Vivienne David, not getting a lot of balls, can still be ready when she gets one.
Well, and it can be really frustrating mentally. You feel like you want to impact the game right, step in, and maybe it causes you to play a little bit more towards that center line as she starts to try and insert herself into the match that much more. And it's going to be this balance throughout this. How much does Vivienne start to engage and push the limits to try and get herself to push through?
No, I was just going to say exactly right, and it is a delicate balance.
I will say, too, it was interesting to watch Lauren Stratman right there. She, like we mentioned, was attacking up the middle because she's seeing so many of those balls. But that time, she has actually started to shift, and it looks like she's going a little bit more line to line, heads up with Meghan Dizon.
Absolutely, and really nice job from Dizon in that rally. Maybe not necessarily known for some of that mid-court touch, but it was on full display in that point.
So Lauren Stratman expecting a lot of the balls here. Etta Wright back to serve on the end change. Caught the net, she'll take it. Lauren Stratman with the finish there.
Yeah.
If you're her, what do you do when you know every single ball is coming to you? How do you mentally manage that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, something to think about, and you just got to stick with it. Knowing it's happening, it can fluster you a little bit mentally, but to stay locked in and know that that's the game plan of the opponents. And to be honest with you, sometimes you get in a pretty good rhythm when you are getting all the balls. So
the silver lining. I like it. Dizon back to serve. That ball just long. Pioneers with a cushy lead at this point in the game.
13-9.
Etta Wright back to Lauren Stratman now. Dizon was lined up on the backhand, ready for that moment.
Beautiful two-shot combination. Etta Wright starting the fire, and Meghan Dizon with the big two-hander. Like you said, Michelle, lots of power in that paddle.
Stratman repaying the favor with some pace in that point.
Just remarkable to watch the feet of Meghan Dizon throughout that rally. Watch how quickly she's backing up on each of those contacts, getting that split step and getting reset to be able to dig the ball.
And just like that, momentum shifts.
Yeah, kind of a little bait ball. Etta thought she had a chance to be offensive, but I'm not sure it was quite there. Nice drop from Stratman.
Dizon into the net.
And you're already starting to see a little bit more of the shift. David creeping more center line. You saw Stratman take several balls on the left side of her body with her forehand, trying to kind of stay away from that backhand.
Stratman speeds it up and handcuffs Etta Wright.
I mean, she was in a, that helped the situation, but she was in a phenomenal offensive position either way. So great stuff from Lauren Stratman with a sustained pressure.
13-14.
Just a bit long that time. The aggression so far, though, has or has not been serving Lauren Stratman.
Yeah, certainly mixed results, but you can see the patience from Etta Wright. She's going to stay in that pattern, so it's going to be up to Stratman which ball she speeds up for sure.
And if you're the Night Owls, you're eyeing down Ben Johns in that next matchup. This is a crucial game for Lauren Stratman and Vivienne David, closing the gap here.
Well, and to your point about picking your spots, when I was talking to Lauren this past week, she said, you know, I'm very trigger happy. I want to pull the trigger constantly, but she said, I'm trying to pick and choose my spots. That's what she's really focused on in 2023.
It's oh so tempting in this sport we all love. How about that finish? Vivienne David with a nifty backhand.
I mean, several high-quality shots from all ladies. Full-on two-handed backhand from Dizon, handled by Stratman, and Vivienne David with a two-hander of her own to finish.
Tie game, 15-all. Just catches the line and thanking the heavens for that one.
I think Vivienne David thought her ball was going out too, so either way it was going the other direction.
Yeah, and Etta tried to pull it back, couldn't get the pad out of the way, and comes up with a winner. That's one way to hit a winner. Etta Wright.
By mistake?
Yes. Some of my best shots.
Stratman was a thing of beauty. That paddle placement, her ability to carve that ball even from an extended point, that was glorious.
Oh, I thought she was done for.
I thought she was too. That's what I'm saying. That was remarkable.
Just shy in the defense for Vivienne David. Meghan Dizon gets the serve back on her side.
Yeah, I mean, she's in perfect low block position, but, you know, when your opponent's hitting down on the ball, just makes it very difficult.
Kitchen.
I'm a little curious. What do you think about Etta's positioning off the kitchen line right now, taking those middle balls? Do you think because she's about 1.5 feet back?
I think what that mostly is just sticking to the game plan.
Okay.
Exactly. And not even, if she has an opportunity, not even going for all of them and just sticking in that pattern.
Okay.
Just long for David, and the Pioneers finding some momentum late in this one. Remember, rally scoring to 21. Timeout is called on the floor. So if you're the Night Owls, how are you responding? What are you chatting about in your huddle right now to find your way back into this one down 3?
Yeah, and like I said, impressive stuff from Etta Wright, who stay in the pattern. So new to the game. Often, we talked about the Lauren Stratman, itchy chin, trigger finger. A lot of those new players have that, especially when you have the elite power of Etta Wright. So sticking in that game plan, the Night Owls have the blueprint. They know exactly what's happening, but it really obviously comes down to Lauren Stratman and her decision making, and can she weather the storm of all those dinks and pick the right spots to attack.
You know, it's interesting. Early in this game, there was one moment I talked about where Lauren Stratman was speeding up to the line at Meghan Dizon, but there was one time she actually missed the ball, but she tried to go cross body, cross court, and it missed just wide. There might be opportunity there, but it's a risky shot, but she might have some space.
But hey, risk is okay when there's reward.
19-16.
And there it is. Lauren Stratman finds the easy roll, closing the point score to 2 points.
Yeah, and we talked about that a couple times. Sometimes the slower balls with more spin are more difficult than the hard shots, and I think that's what happened there.
Stratman going toe-to-toe with Etta Wright. What happened?
I mean, just incredible patience, as I mentioned on the break. There was, I'm not sure on that specific point, there was opportunities for Etta to do anything, but she's not even looking to. She's staying to that spot, and hey, they got a game point.
Stratman not going anywhere anytime soon. What'd you like about that play, Kim?
Well, that's big right there for Stratman, right? Get a little momentum, but also there's the speed up, but then the finish cross court where the space is available. But I also like right now, she's mixing up her dinks a little bit more in terms of location, not just going middle, but also forcing Etta to hit a backhand.
So the Pioneers frozen on 20. They have to win on their serve now, as do the Night Owls, frozen on 18. There they go. It's a one-point game. You're saying, oof, why?
Well, just when the ball clips the tape, it might not even be the next shot. It just throws the rhythm of the point off. And so, not saying that that is full-fledged the reason why Etta Wright missed that, but it just, whoa, what do we have going on here?
Speculation courtside. Ben Johns and Tyler Loong discussing.
I think they're talking about potentially a hindrance.
Another hindrance. Been controversial this morning.
Recurring theme here in these matches.
Recurring theme. We better be careful or we're going to get called on one.
Seriously.
I think we're a hindrance at this point.
We are a hindrance. One time I was kept in check by Irina Terashenko, who did indeed tell me I was a hindrance. We were too close to
you were too close to the court? That's a broadcaster's worst nightmare.
Indeed. Yep. And that was the last time. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I need to be careful
but
because I've been told my voice carries, so I need to be careful up here in the bird's
All
nest.
three of ours, I would argue, cuts through the entire stadium here, but we will do our best to avoid the hindrance call on us. And
just
Vegas,
no loud split steps over there.
Yeah, right. You said
keep
split
your toes in check.
You said split stub early in this match. I was like, not too big of a one, though.
All right, so the Vegas Night Owls taking back the serve. You're Lauren Stratman and Vivienne David, Cameron.
I'm actually curious. They're still conferring right now whether this. Are they checking the score or are they checking for this as a video challenge?
Julian Arnold in the crowd. He is the boyfriend of Lauren Stratman and was giving her some advice on the sideline when Adam was pointing out that every single ball was going to her. I'm sure he had some sound advice.
Sure, she appreciated it.
Whether it was solicited or not, we don't know. We'll have to get the scoop.
But you've seen it though. It hasn't been just isolation, and she's crumbled.
It's part of the game.
It's been mixed results. So it's a pick your poison situation. You're probably going to get a few more errors from Lauren Stratman, but she has firepower as well. So a very steady game plan, like I said, from the Seattle Pioneers. And when you have Ben Johns, one of the best strategists in the game, and also Dave Fleming, an accomplished senior pro and GM, you know that they have a strategy going into these matches.
Look, Dave, just so relaxed. But Cameron, what I want to know from you, what strategy are you embodying right now on the side of the Vegas Night Owls?
Well, I think one thing if you're Lauren Stratman, that you have to feel confident in is the partner sitting next to you to clean up when need be, right? With Vivienne David down the line from Etta Wright, you have to feel like you've got a little bit more room. I'm not going to say for error, but a little bit more room to make sure that ball's getting across the net. And right now, that dink back and forth with Etta Wright is where she's made a few mistakes. But I think, you just got to give it a little extra love and then be prepared for Vivienne David to clean up the mess if need be.
Yeah, definitely. And also, let's check this out first.
Yeah, they just said you guys are good. Oh, sorry.
Okay, we got it cleared.
But a long pause nonetheless.
The golden silence, as they call it in sales, and the Vegas Night Owls take us back to serve Lauren Stratman to Etta Wright, looking to tie things up here on championship court. Lauren Stratman goes big. High risk, high reward.
Exactly.
And it works.
And a nice little poke roll by Etta Wright, but too big of a swing on the forehand counter attack. Second subsequent ball on that, and sails it long.
Ooh, that's a ball Meghan Dizon likely wants back. What are you seeing, Kim?
I don't know what I'm seeing, but I'm definitely hearing hooting taking place because the Night Owls are currently bird calling across the stadium.
Lauren Stratman with the serve and the 1-point lead, game point for women's doubles. That ball is in. Lauren Stratman, how are you with the strong forehand finish down the middle, and it was a thing of beauty.
Hey, they put Lauren Stratman to the test, and she responded. Phenomenal job by Lauren Stratman. Vivienne David in a nice supporting role, but kudos to the Night Owls. Big win to start off this match.
She said, please keep hitting every ball to me. I'm going to finish this one off, too.
Hooty hoo, Lauren Stratman, hooty hoo.
So the Las Vegas Night Owls take game number 1, and this is huge because guess what? It's men's doubles coming your way after this. More on that in just a moment, but first, Cameron Blackwood standing by with the winners. Cameron.
Lauren, that one came all the way down to the finish there. They were targeting you the majority of the match. How do you mentally stay in it?
I mean, Viv just pulled me through that match. I tried to stay aggressive. I came out a little bit nervous. It's, you know, it's exhilarating playing in front of all of you guys. So thanks for the support out here, and it was a great match. So thanks.
And going off of that, when your partner is getting the majority of the balls, how do you stay ready when it does come back to you?
I think just constantly keeping your eye on the ball and just having the trust in your partner as well. Like she did an amazing job constructing the rallies, just really watching the ball, making sure that you're constantly staying engaged, low, and you know, she did a great job. So good job, Lauren. Let's go team.
There you have it. Night Owls go up 1-0. We're going to be right back with men's doubles. Don't go anywhere.
Just like my mama said, hard times and that good way that you're born. Hustling when the world wants you to sing a swim. I ain't gonna
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
I'll give you something, make you shake it, shake it.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Ora Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
We are back on Talking Stick Resort Championship Court. Michelle McMahon, Cameron Irwin, and Adam Stone in the booth with you. Cameron Blackwood on the sidelines for us for this one, and this is going to be an exciting matchup, guys. It's the Las Vegas Night Owls featuring Dekel and Kyle Yates, couple of veterans in the sport, against the Seattle Pioneers, Ben Johns and Tyler Loong. Adam, I'm going to defer to your specialty in playing amongst these guys, one of which you played with for many years.
Yes.
So let's start on the side of the Pioneers.
Yes, the Pioneers, you obviously have the #2 overall pick right behind Annalie Waters, Ben Johns, absolute stud out there, and kind of what I considered a steal as the next to last pick in the draft, Tyler Loong.
Yeah.
I think that they complement each other well, with Tyler Loong always the Ernie threat and kind of taking his sliver of a court, allowing him to Ernie more frequently. So a great pairing there, and as you mentioned, the veterans Kyle Yates and Dekel actually have played several regular events together, so this is going to be an exciting matchup.
My question is, how many middle dinks are we going to see with that many Ernie Kings out there on the court?
And of course, Loong being a lefty throws in another nuance. Forehands in the middle. Kyle Yates goes drive off the bat. What'd you think of that choice?
Oh, I thought it was fine. He was balanced. He hit it okay. He hit the tape. You know, that's part of the deal.
Get the jitters out early, they say. Seattle Pioneers take a 1-0 lead. Ben Johns with the serve. How about that for an Ernie? One of his strengths for Tyler Loong.
And both Night Owls looked right at the ref to make sure he was clean, and I believe that he was.
Well, and right off the bat, too, you got to love this. That's why you want to avoid the exterior of the court, or if those dinks are going line to line, that has to be nearly perfect and low enough to the net to not allow for the Ernie.
Seen a couple of textbook Ernies already today. A fault called on Kyle Yates.
Yeah, good look from Kyle. I'm not sure if that was on the takeoff or the landing. Must have been the takeoff because he's clear on the landing.
Challenge.
Oh, they're going to challenge early. Never mind.
Ben Johns, as Adam mentioned, the second overall pick in this year's draft with the serve. A legendary figure in the sport. Another fault called on the side of Kyle Yates and Dekel Bar.
They're asking who it was on. He didn't hit a ball is what he's saying. Oh, so she calls it on Dekel with his right foot on the line, but Kyle hit the ball.
Ooh. So what do you think about that?
It doesn't matter.
Huh?
That's the point. If Kyle hit the ball, Dekel could be in the kitchen.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So, controversy ensuing.
I've actually seen this several times. A referee can call a foot fault when the ball bounces accidentally as a mistake,
right.
And they can do the same thing here. Because that ball was to the middle of the court, and Dekel kind of did a swing at it and wasn't able to get it. So it makes a little bit of sense that that call was made. But Dekel did not contact the ball. Kyle Yates did.
So Dekel Bar and Kyle Yates infuriated, and rightly so, on their side as we await to hear word on how this will resolve.
And you see Dekel Bar and Ben Johns up at the net together.
You can see the optical illusion of what happened, because
it
it does look
Dekel
like
hit that bar, but
Dekel Bar hit it. So, in a sense, you have an understanding, but
right, ladies and gentlemen, we have human referees, and you know that's part of the deal. I think that was a reasonable mistake. I mean, obviously don't want it to be called, but I get where she's coming from. Yeah, you saw Ben Johns and Dekel Bar having a slight conversation at the net. Big time business partner and old friends.
Yeah, he didn't hit that ball.
Touch that ball at all.
This is wild.
Yikes, that's a tough one to give up on the side of the Vegas Night Owls. So Ben Johns takes it back. They'll take it any way they can get it. And that's a tough point for the Night Owls.
Great spot from Kyle Yates, catching Tyler Loong, stepping to his right and loading on the forehand side, but Kyle Yates able to get that attack down at the feet.
Dekel Bar, though, countering back nicely after the controversial call.
Yes, nice slide to his right from Kyle Yates and a great counter attack off the Ben Johns roll.
That ball goes long, a rare miss for Ben Johns.
What a get, though, from Kyle Yates to come crashing in off that ball and be able to have the wherewithal to withstand it.
Dekel Bar loading back to serve, a powerful serve. Ben Johns takes the break off the net. Tough bounce for the Night Owls.
Well, he's very fortunate there because Dekel came in hot with a thunder punch, and he's got one of the best ones in the game. So fortunate for Ben.
Sounds like that. It sounds like it needs a sound effect.
Oh,
Dekel calls it wide.
All right, I was going to say Callie Yates going for the ATP. Love the choice. And they'll still come away with the point. Vegas Night Owls tying things up.
What a rarity, right? No, people have a hard time getting into that cross-court dink battle with Ben Johns because he's so good at it. So if you can pick up a victory in one of those, you're doing something awfully right.
Dekel bar so powerful, but not enough there for Callie Yates. And just as a note from our Cameron Blackwood down below a couple of points ago with the controversial call, she did say Ben Johns was offering to replay the point. He was happy to, but it was not the player's call. So we want to reiterate that. The players trying to do the right thing. Nothing we can do, but they've moved on clearly at this point. Tie game. How about that finish? Tyler Loong with the fast hands and a lefty at that.
Absolutely, and just, you know, when you're paired up with Ben Johns, who takes so much court and takes it effectively, when you can just load up on that forehand side as a lefty, Tyler Loong gives you some real confidence that you can be where you need to be on those counterattacks.
Just shy of the net there. Callie Yates fired up for that one.
You know what I love, though, is watching Tyler Loong in this rally. Yates is working with a heavy topspin dink right there, and Loong is doing a really nice job taking those balls, slicing them out of the air, and not letting them get away from him.
Big man popped up a little too quick on that drive. A short return, so I like the decision, but got to keep his center of gravity a little bit lower.
Ben Johns and the Pioneers up by 1 with the serve. Tough miss for Callie Yates, eyeing that line.
Yeah, I would say, you know, slightly ambitious, but Kyle Yates is known for pulling the trigger to all the spots, and going to the Ben Johns backhand is definitely the preferred play if you were going to attack him.
There's the all-powerful Dekel bar, literally outpowering his opponents.
What did I say yesterday, Cam?
Is that the thunder punch?
No, that wasn't
not.
the,
Okay.
That was the
All right.
Dekel hit
hard. Dekel hit hard. Don't worry, we'll get back to the thunder punch. We'll get that for you, Michelle.
I can only wait to see the thunder punch.
The thunder punch is only the backhand.
Little did you know that Adam Stone actually comes with sound effects as well, so just be prepared because the next one is coming.
Please inform me so I can call it correctly next time. Ben Johns just absolutely taking over at the kitchen, set up beautifully with that finesse.
Well, in the shot right here, you see a little bit of that scorpion. I love the drop tips from Dekel bar, but even more impressive is Ben Johns' ability to move laterally, get in front of that, as he doesn't have much rain with that scorpion.
Dekel bar starts that one by testing the backhand of Tyler Loong.
I would say he was a little fortunate as Tyler Loong really ripped that counterattack, but it worked out for the Night Owls, and Dekel knows what to do with a high ball.
The thunder punch, of course. Just kidding. How about that finish, Dekel bar?
Very nice Dekel bar, and obviously Ben Johns has the highest floor in the game. He almost never plays bad, but the ceiling of Dekel bar is comparable.
Vegas Night Owls climb back in within 1, make that a tie game, 10-10 on championship court. Each team vying to be the first to 11, and then we'll have an end change. That ball sails long, and the Las Vegas Night Owls, the first team to 11. How are they able to shift momentum in this one?
Oh, well, it's some big play from Dekel, some nice power, and some steady play from Kyle Yates. As I mentioned, they're very comfortable with each other, and there's a lot of interchanging things going on the court. Dekel has played Tyler Loong a ton. Dekel and Ben have played a few tournaments together. Dekel and Kyle, in the start of their Ben's career, were playing almost 2 years together. So everyone knows what's going on and who does things well and does things poorly out there. So there's not going to be anything too earth-shattering. It's going to come down to execution.
It is interesting, though. I feel like those last 3 rallies, there may have been just a slight hesitation on the paddle of Tyler Loong, and there was also a miscommunication on one of those dinks. You saw him back up from the line, and then it was the opposing dink after that. So maybe the nuance, I guess, more so is between Ben Johns and Tyler Loong right now, having that lesser experience together on the court. Those last 3 rallies just showed minor glimpses of that.
Definitely, and the thing is, playing with Ben Johns is obviously very easy. I've done it one time, but it's also hard, too, because you need to back off the line a little bit to let him do his thing, and it unfortunately puts you in some awkward spots at times.
Ben Johns turns it up, but it doesn't matter because Barr is there to counter.
I mean, I got 2 words for that, and it's too good. I mean, if it's too good, sometimes you just have to tip your cap and say too good to your opponent.
Seattle Pioneers looking to go 3-0. The Vegas Night Owls looking to put an end to that undefeated streak, and that time just a little bit wide for Dekel Barr, despite the great effort.
Great just body awareness of knowing where he is to hit such an aggressive shot while flying through the air. Excellent job, Tyler Loong.
Dekel Barr looking to test the backside again of Tyler Loong.
Yeah, that's tough off the bounce right there. That was about 3 to 4 inches lower than I think he anticipated it to be.
We'll label that one ambitious.
The unstoppable force that is Dekel Barr at the kitchen line displayed once again.
Yeah, Loong kind of hitting that off his back foot well beyond the baseline. That's a tough ball.
13-12.
Just long for the Night Owls, so the Pioneers take this one back. The Pioneers, by the way, just one of 4 teams who have yet to lose a match. They're going to stay undefeated. Every game, every point counts. What a play by Tyler Loong.
He just stole that one away.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what the paddle angle was here or the position he was in.
I don't think he did either.
It worked.
It worked. What a finish, Ben Johns turning up the pace down the middle.
Yeah, and it was a great read by him. He had a half-step head start, knowing where Kyle Yates was going to go to the middle of the court, and that half step allowed his contact point to be perfect.
Did you like that speed-up choice by Yates? Or maybe not the right place? Where else do you go with it, I guess? Incredible rally. Tough finish for Kyle Yates, but how about the patience of Ben Johns in that point?
No, definitely one of the most structured, just get in my patterns that I like kind of guy, and you can see right there he didn't break out of it when he had a couple opportunities.
Tyler Loong taking over on his forehand.
I think it's tough right now for the Las Vegas Night Owls. They're trying to create, and that's one of the questions in the balance that you always have to ask, right? We're down right now. Do we try and stay steady and just get within these points and within these patterns, or do we still continue to try and create opportunities? And it's tough when you got a team like the Pioneers on the other side, especially with their defense and their counter punches.
Right, and I think the thing is there's been a couple windows of opportunity, whether it's up the line for Kyle Yates or to the middle, but when you're playing these explosive athletes, those windows shrink so quickly. So it's really tough, and it's kind of mental warfare out there. Oh, I think it's there. Oh, it's not there. And then you start questioning your decisions later in the match.
So with the forehands in the middle on the Pioneers side, for the Night Owls, where is the most ideal place to
Yeah, so Tyler Loong, a very consistent dinker, but he doesn't actually do a whole lot with it, so that's the spot I would go to.
We're seeing the Joy Cam and the man behind Major League Pickleball, Steve Kuhn, creating all the joy, quite frankly, for all of us, commentators included. It is a packed house inside Talking Stick Resort Championship Arena. And Mesa, Arizona has shown up today. We still got another full day of action. Can you believe it? Ben John's back to serve, looking to close in, game to 21. Shot from Ben Johns, couldn't pay it off.
That thing is just so slippery. The amount of spin, what you don't realize is how far that ball, once it bounces, is going to take a turn on you too. So that ball's going to continue to trek away. Just so hard to get.
Well-placed shot for Ben Johns. How'd he find it?
Yeah, no, definitely. But you can see in these soft dink rallies, it doesn't have to do with consistency. These guys are making the dinks. It's decision-making. That is the key, and Ben John's one of the best in the game at it.
Pioneers just 3 points away from tying up the series. Not with that one, though. Kyle Yates, the master of the ATP.
Yeah, one of the best on tour because he gets around the ball and curls it into the court. Very, very nice job from Kyle Yates, one of the best in the game, as you mentioned, Michelle, at the ATP.
Not going to stop that angle of Ben Johns.
He just looked like Air Jordan.
You just roll that one back and move on to the next point. Pioneers 2 points away from tying out the series for our knockaround KO of the game. I would say that was an appropriate point for that. A delicate Ernie there for Dekel Bar.
Well, I remember,
it was graceful.
Yes, I've played with him for so long. At the very beginning, he would just ram that into the net. But now he can, when he makes a move and it's not there, he's able to dink it back. Very nice job from Dekel.
Did you have a terminology for that one? Tough miss for Dekel Bar.
You know what's I think so fun to watch is Ben Johns dinking on that backhand side and just how much shoulder turn he's getting and how it looks exactly the same whether if he's going back cross court or back up the line. Just another level of deception for Ben Johns.
Game point on the paddle of Tyler Loong for the Pioneers.
You.
Dekel bar goes for it, just wide, so the Seattle Pioneers tie things up 1 game apiece. What's your overall impression?
I'm just really impressed here with Tyler Loong sticking to the game plan. I'm not sure he had one speed up that match. Had several electric counterattacks, but great patience, knowing who he's partnered with, not needing to do too much. Very nice, Tyler Loong.
Time now for our knockaround KO of the game. It was a pretty obvious candidate from this matchup. Ben Johns and Tyler Loong dominating in this one. Have another look at this thing of beauty. What set this point up, Adam?
Oh, I'm looking at the screen now. Oh yes, I see. Yeah, that was the Air Jordan put away with the inside out. Yeah, and it was the ball before that, incredibly deep with spin from Ben Johns, and then the put away. Let's send it down to Cameron Blackwood with our winners.
Ben, you have a lot of movement up that kitchen line, but how much does it change, or does it when you have 2 forehands in the middle now?
Yeah, you know, I definitely think it changes the dynamic in quite a few ways. Movement-wise, I feel like we're moving a lot more because, yes, forehands can cover more, but that means you kind of both go onto each other's sides a little more. You're both going for Ernie's a little more, and that just means more shifting, more covering, and more spots covered.
And you're going up against Dekel, who probably Ernie's almost as much as you. Is that easier or harder to pick your moments?
Definitely harder. It's kind of fun. We just play this little dancing game back and forth, but he's got me by a couple inches. He's taller than me, but we both like to Ernie, so it's fun.
There you have it, Pioneers. Match it up 1-1. We'll be right back with mixed doubles. Don't go anywhere.
At From With Pickleball, we believe in the power of our sport to unite a community. We have introduced hundreds of people to pickleball by funding a 10-court public facility in our hometown with leagues and lessons to make everyone feel valued. We take that same approach to our business with personalized customer service and same-day shipping from our huge inventory. When you order from With Pickleball, you're supporting a small business and a diverse community of pickleball fanatics. We have the gear you need and the service you can trust.
The Pro XR pickleball paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
And I said, Saturday, no one's here. Right? Are you getting this? So if he wants the invoice.
Water doesn't have to be boring. Turn it up with Cirkul. With over 40 delicious flavors and a dial that controls your intensity, Cirkul starts a party for your taste buds. No sugar, no calories, and no artificial flavors. Just good times. Cirkul, it's your water, your way. Try Cirkul at drinkcirkul.com.
We're back on championship court as MLP Mesa by Margaritaville rolls on from Talking Stick Resort Championship Court. Michelle McMahon, Cameron Irwin, Adam Stone in the booth, Cameron Blackwood on the sideline, and we have ourselves a match as we would expect. Here are the group standings so far. The New Jersey Fives just had an absolute riveting game on championship court called by Cameron and Adam. It was such a fun matchup to watch. They are a perfect 3-0 at the top of Group A. You're watching Group C here on championship court. The Seattle Pioneers looking to maintain a perfect record, looking to go 3-0, but they are facing the Las Vegas Night Owls, who need this game to stay in positioning to be in top 2 of their Group C. And over in Group B, it's entangled between the LA Mad Drops and Florida Smash, both sitting a perfect 2-0. We've got all the group matchups taking place today, and then we'll have the quarterfinal rounds coming your way after group play later on this afternoon. And then it's Championship Sunday, including the Challenger League. So we are moments away from mixed doubles here. The Seattle Pioneers going with Etta Wright and Ben Johns, and the Vegas Night Owls going with Vivienne David and Dekel. That's an obvious choice. What makes them work so well in your eyes, Adam?
Well, they've been drilling with each other for months and years at Dreamland Dripping Springs. Good friends and very comfortable with each other on the court. Now, on the other side of the court, we have Ben Johns and Etta Wright, who have not played too much together. And Etta Wright, more of a left side player. We'll see how she handles that right side.
Etta Wright has so much upside. I've heard so many pickleball pros discuss her ability in the season. Here's how the numbers shake out from a head-to-head standpoint. The win probability much in favor of Ben Johns and Etta Wright. I'd say anytime Ben Johns is on the court, those numbers might be skewed towards him, but relatively even across the board in terms of their duper team ratings and power ratings. So anything can happen. That's why they play the games, right?
Absolutely correct, and we are about to get underway. This is a very, very exciting matchup.
Okay, the hooty-hoos continue on the side of the Vegas Night Owls. Tom Brady and Kim Clijsters' team. Vivienne David leading us back to serve. Etta Wright on the return. Sailing it long was Dekel. The Pioneers on top for the first point.
Another impressive thing, and I've seen it with the small sample size of Etta Wright, is her eye and her ability to let balls go out. Often that comes later in your career. She's already got it.
That angle, nearly impossible to defend against Ben Johns.
You know, it's interesting. You talked about how the soft game is often developed from tennis players coming into pickleball, but one of the things that you note on Etta Wright is her ability to play soft. And I think it's in a big consequence to how good her mechanics are coming from the tennis world.
Dekel with that legendary Ernie and a powerful finish on the backhand.
Yeah, one of the only players on tour that can Ernie a cross-court dink. It's so difficult to do. Often it's coming from straight ahead. Incredible athleticism from the big man.
And how about that serve to show for it as well? A let serve. So they will be replayed on the let. Still powerful nonetheless. Just wide for Barr. A couple of unforced errors for him early. What do you think's happening on his side?
Oh, nothing. I mean, the big man really goes for his drive, and you're going to have some sprinkled in errors. That's just part of the deal. I don't see anything technically why that's happening. You know, when you hit big, you miss some.
Etta Wright just shy, and Vivienne David.
But that's the combination I was talking about from Etta Wright. Her ability to cut that ball on her left side, then pick that up low on her right, and that last one kind of got away from her, but that's the great example right there.
Vivienne David takes the break. Dekel will go back with a big serve. Tie game. Fault is called on Vivienne David. The reaction follows accordingly.
Yeah, you don't see that too often on a dink, but definitely apparently had her toe on the line on that forehand volley dink out of the air from Vivienne David.
Ben Johns just finds the opening, playing cat and mouse with Dekel Bar.
Well, it's tough. He goes obviously for the Ernie, but just loses enough footing that he is not able to recover right here. You can see him kind of bobble and then try and get back. Obviously, Vivienne tried to come over and cover some of that middle, but it was a little too much of an alley.
Just shy for Vivienne David.
That's about it. Oh, the only angle she had with that ball to go cross court, because she was really extended, really reaching. Tough to bring that one back up the line, but just gets unlucky with the net.
I'll tell you what, Vivienne David does not skip leg day.
Getting low is part of her strategy, as she talks about in her lessons. Ben Johns speeds it up, handcuffs Dekel Bar.
Yeah, too good from Ben Johns at the full extension in the middle of the court. And I thought it was interesting from Vivienne David saying that getting low doesn't necessarily always help her physically, which it does at times, but mentally as well.
Ben Johns started the point with the lob.
Yeah, that's right. And in the middle of that point, the Night Owls had the single file defense going. So kind of a frantic, hectic point there, but Ben Johns with a nice speed up kind of into the body of Vivienne David.
I formation, whatever you want to call it. Didn't work that time.
It's so wild to watch Ben Johns play. At times it seems like he can do whatever he would like with that ball. That transition ball where he ends up hitting a forehand and whips that up and around his head. I mean, that's just remarkable contact from paddle to ball.
It doesn't seem that way, Cameron. It's because he can.
I know. It's true. It's true.
There's a reason he is top talent in the world.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I was just going to say handcuffed by Dekel Bar. A little late getting to the kitchen line, Michelle, and just what didn't have his feet underneath him for that clean contact.
And you saw it, the ultimate Ben Johns, the big windup on that forehand to then the inside out dink, and then the next thing he shows you the two-handed backhand that he's been working on in 2023.
Well, the Seattle Pioneers, the first team to 11. What else did you see on their side?
Well, to mention what Cameron said, yes, when you have that big windup or a little shoulder waggle to get deception, often you miss. But when you have the consistency of Ben Johns, you're able to add that deception to your game. And I would recommend for you 3, 5, and 4 players to not try that at home.
Don't
okay?
try that at home.
Let's say that with a cautionary tale.
Yeah, it's just been a clean game plan and clean play on execution from Etta Wright and Ben Johns.
You're very familiar with Dekel Bar and his play. Any adjustments you would tell him to make as his former teammate?
Well, number one, have Seattle Pioneers play worse, and number two, just stay on your toes, stay aggressive, and keep doing your thing, because when he plays well, as I mentioned, very similar ceiling to Ben Johns.
You keep talking about the ceiling and when he's playing well. Where are areas where maybe he starts to fall off? And I know that's hard to answer as a former teammate and friend, but that's the curiosity.
We talked about it yesterday, and I really think a lot of it has to do with some flat-footedness and not on his toes. It all starts from the ground up, and when he's on his toes, it helps every aspect of his game.
Ben Johns, the big backhand. There are really no holes in Ben Johns' game, even when he's practically playing singles and mixed doubles. So he'll take back the serve and a 10-point lead. Not the way the Night Owls drew this one up.
Yeah, it's just so tough. I'm not gonna lie. I've lost to Ben Johns an incredible number of times, and and the thing is there's only maybe a couple players on tour where sometimes you almost feel helpless when you're in that situation. And when he's playing at the peak of his powers, it really is a mental battle because you just feel like there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, and even as much as you might try to isolate the other player, Ben's still ability to move such great positioning laterally quickly and cover so much space, there's not really a spot you can go. I mean, teams at times have started to take shots. You think of Annalie Waters taking some shots up against him when she has faced off up the line, or that speed up off down the line on that backhand side. Those are the only areas. I'm not even going to call it a weakness, but that's the only area it seems like players are going to look.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, the thing is Ben Johns, he's the best bully. So what do you do to a bully? You hit him first. So that's one of the best strategies is to actually attack him. If you just try to play soft and work the ball around, he's just too good, and he's gonna make better decisions than most players out there. Got to punch him in the mouth.
And as good as Ben Johns has been, so has Etta Wright, to your point in this match, Cameron. So consistent and steady on her side. How about that play from Ben Johns? And the nuances of mixed. How important is it to have that balance with a partner, with the resets, with a player like Etta Wright?
Absolutely. I don't think she's made a mistake yet. Just flawless team play from the Pioneers.
I will say, too, one of the great challenges in mixed is when you have somebody like Ben Johns coming across and taking so much court. The opportunity to get in a rhythm as a female is very challenging, or as a right side player is incredibly challenging. You might be seeing one ball every 4 or 5 strokes, and it's hard to get that touch and that feel when this is such a rhythmic game.
No question.
So the question becomes, how do you find the rhythm? That remains the mystery. We'll have to find out potentially after this one. Dekel Bar coming to life. Never say never in this rally point format. Rally scoring, this is a unique nuance to the sport here with Major League Pickleball. Games are 2-21, win by 2. Just wide for Vivienne David. What happened?
I mean, it was a perfectly played point. They got exactly what they wanted to. Athletic play from Dekel. Vivienne sliding with him for the forehand put away. Sometimes it just launches off your paddle and nothing you can do.
Yeah, all your momentum shifting along with the ball trying to travel that direction. That's going to make it awfully tough.
Ben Johns couldn't counter the pace and placement of Dekel Bar. Vivienne David will take the serve back to Etta Wright. 11-point deficit. Ben Johns just too good on that backhand punch.
I still think the best part of it was the Etta Wright backhand. So it's just, I mean, this is one of the most powerful men in the game across the court from Etta Wright, and she is not phased in the least.
ATP almost defended by Etta Wright. Dekel Bar ultimately coming away with that one.
Yeah, Dekel Bar very good, and he lets that ball travel so long and gets his paddle underneath for a slice backhand ATP. Well done, Dekel.
Etta Wright, by the way, has a prolific sports background. She grew up playing netball, touch rugby, basketball, soccer, field hockey, tennis. What couldn't she do? Tennis was the sport that stuck, ultimately. You can see it in her game. Miss there for Ben Johns. 2 points away from closing in on a game victory for the Pioneers. Looking to go on top 2-1 in this one. Okay, Vivienne David coming around for the backhand, Ernie. She'll take it.
With the big high five and a hop, skip, and a jump, too. That's Vivienne David at her finest.
Yeah, on Ben Johns of all people, too. This crowd loves this.
Take that with a slap punch. Ben Johns gets you moving left, then he gets you moving right.
Yeah, just,
so good.
Just sustained pressure from the kitchen line from Ben Johns. Even when his opponent's in an incredible shot back, his ability to stay calm and focused and put it where he needs to, unmatched.
His ability to apply that pressure is unmatched, as you said. No other player does it quite like he does.
Was a very well played point by Dekel. You actually saw a little bit of a different approach to his line-to-line dink on that backhand side, pulling that paddle from dropping completely down at an angle and pulling it up. That was beautiful.
Yeah, he dipped the paddle head very low, more than normal. Exactly right, Cameron.
Vivienne David looking to close a 10-point gap. Not going down without a fight, but Etta Wright just stepping up when the point calls for it.
Very impressed with her.
Her hands and her intelligence, her pickleball IQ is incredibly high. So game point for the Pioneers. That ball sails long. The Pioneers will take that one. Ben Johns and Etta Wright stole the momentum early, and they never looked back. Incredible performance from both. What jumped out to you the most in that one, Cameron, having played many mixed doubles matches yourself?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is just like we talked about so often is the steadiness of Etta Wright alongside Ben Johns and the nuances that come when playing with a player of his caliber, having to step off the line, staying steady without many rhythmic opportunities. Just phenomenal play from both individuals.
And that was the voice of Cameron Irwin. Now we send it over to the other Cameron Blackwood, standing by on the sideline with Ben Johns and Etta Wright.
At a new partnership here with Ben. We're all curious, how long did you guys train before arriving here at MLP?
Honestly, not long, just on Thursday when we got here. So yeah, just a day.
A couple days seemed to work out pretty well. And on the other side, you have two very powerful players with Dekel and Vivienne. How were you able to neutralize that and come out with a win?
I think you really have to focus on your drops and your resets and making sure they're short in the court. If you leave those a little high, obviously there's a lot of power, so you don't want that. And then once you're up at the line, I think it was important to kind of dictate play and don't let them take their shots, more kind of put them on the move and feeling the pressure. I think that's what we did.
Pioneers go up 2-1. We are headed into our next mix. Don't go anywhere.
Hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Ora Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
Match point. It's all up to me. Nothing can get in my way. And when they ask, what are you gonna do next? I'll say, I'm going.
We're going to Margaritaville!
You can go to Margaritaville too. Visit MargaritavilleResorts.com.
We are back on Championship Court here in Mesa, Arizona, as Major League Pickleball 2023 begins its first stop of the season right here in the desert. And it is time now for our second mixed doubles matchup between the Las Vegas Night Owls and the Seattle Pioneers. The Pioneers right now on top 2-1. So, starting with the Pioneers, they will put out Tyler Loong and Meghan Dizon against Kyle Yates and Lauren Stratman. Michelle McMahon, Cameron Irwin, Adam Stone in the booth. Adam, I'll start with you. On the side of the Vegas Night Owls, you're fighting for your life right now.
Yes.
You have to win this game and then this match to ultimately fight for your chances to continue in this tournament. So how are you approaching this?
Well, I would say that Meghan Dizon has a very nice game, but she also has a little volatility. So I would look to target her early and see how she responds to the pressure.
And Tyler Loong on the screen now for the Seattle Pioneers. What is it about the partnership between he and Meghan Dizon that seems to work so well?
Well, it is slightly interesting because you do have the left-handed man who's going to be playing that right side, so that puts Dizon over on the left. So, yeah, it affects those dynamics, and that creates a head-to-head instead of the opposite gender with the same gender.
Kyle Yates looking to counter that duo. Fort Myers, Florida native. 27 years old. He's been in the sport for so long. He's an icon in the sport of pickleball.
You know, it's interesting as Kyle Yates is getting warmed up. One of the things that was taking place on the side of Seattle Pioneers is full conversation in terms of game management and scouting report. And I think that's one of the great nuances to MLP is that you do have a box around you giving you strategy, and it gives you quite the insight. You know, whether you're on a different tour, you're usually competing against these pros. So it's nice to kind of get a glimpse, pulling back that curtain to see the mind of someone like Ben Johns or Etta Wright, Tyler Loong, Meghan Dizon, any of the above. It's really a unique aspect for these athletes to grow in their own game.
Speaking of strategy, the Pioneers were the home team, so the nuance there means they got to pick their mixed doubles matchup based on who the Vegas Night Owls put out first, and obviously they were victorious in the first mixed doubles matchup. So first serve is underway. Lauren Stratman to Tyler Loong.
Well, and I think it's going to be interesting, like you guys mentioned, with Tyler Loong out there being a lefty. It will be the head-to-head battle with the ladies. They did target Lauren Stratman in the women's doubles competition. We talked about that substantially, so that line-to-line is going to look a little interesting.
Meghan Dizon with that power, building off that point, Cameron. If you're the females on the side of that they are, where are you targeting?
Well, this is going to be interesting right here. She just got called for a foot fault violation, a kitchen violation, but I think you have to be careful. You got a ball being driven at you on the third, especially with that fourth. You have to be very careful of that forehand of Dizon.
Dizon speeding things up as she likes to do best, making up for the fault. Loong will take us back to serve. Just shy for Kyle Yates, who can't believe he missed that one.
That's the faked himself out situation with, like I said, don't try this at home. And sometimes you get a little too much going on to create deception, and it creates an error, unfortunately.
Yeah. Loong so crafty with that forehand in the middle.
Well, and Adam, I'm curious too. So when you've got that head-to-head battle as a guy, how much are you trying to sneak in? How can you create opportunities maybe after this point?
Meghan Dizon with a powerful backhand.
Yeah, definitely. So it kind of, if it depends how much your opponents are going behind you. If they're not doing it too much, it gives you complete free reign to come into the middle of the court. And with Tyler Loong's athleticism and movement, I expect him to do so.
The Pioneers coming out hot in this one. A rare miss there. So the Night Owls closing the gap to 3 points. You don't want any momentum to get away from you here in rally scoring, because things can snowball quickly, as we've seen. Another error for Kyle Yates.
Yeah, kind of catching him 3 or 4 feet off of the kitchen line, right at his rib cage, kind of gave him the old T-Rex arms, couldn't get him extended.
Offense spotted there on the side of the Night Owls.
Yeah, they needed that combination, sustained pressure. You're playing against these quality opponents. You know you're going to have to hit 5 or 6.
That's a ball you want back if you're Kyle Yates.
Yeah, especially with an early 3-point deficit. Got to clean it up, make them earn it. Can't give them the easy ones.
The tweener for Tyler Loong gets the crowd on their feet. Oh, and he grabs the baseline there too.
Wow.
And a smirk to finish the point off.
Wow, incredible athleticism. I don't think he quite hit that last ball as clean as he wanted to, but it worked out perfectly as it drops inside the baseline.
He deserved it. He
deserved it. The pickleball gods decided it was so. And with that, the lefty will take back the serve. A switching of sides for Dizon and Loong, perhaps unintentionally, but they seem to balance each other really nicely on their side. A couple of Utah natives.
Yeah, it's just Ben Johns and 3 people from Utah. And I want to say, I said the meccas of pickleball is Southern California, Southern Florida, and Austin. Let's not forget about Utah as well.
Utah is stacked.
Utah and the Pacific Northwest, also very big-time pickleball spots.
And let's see how that shifts as more and more people continue to play.
It's actually interesting, too, because Meghan Dizon is actually originally from California. She just ended up playing tennis at BYU and decided, I think we're going to stay here. We enjoy this place.
I think I'll stay.
It's a pretty state.
5-9.
Dizon almost pushing Loong out of the way for the forehand in the middle on that one.
And Dizon's chuckling a little bit. She's like, Meghan, you got to get out of there when the ball goes up high. As
I totally understand.
Tyler Loong has one of the loosest arms and one of the best putaways in the game.
10-5.
Love the aggression from Meghan Dizon in the middle, though. Stratman with the easy put away around the post.
Lauren Stratman currently working with a carbon paddle. This is new for her as she's currently a free agent on the paddle market. So working with that carbon gives her a little bit more grit.
Yeah, Adam, you and Rob pointed out the paddle technology and how much that is evolving the play. Just long for Kyle Yates. Tough miss. Pioneers, the first team to 11. What's working the best right now on the side of Dizon and Loong in their partnership?
Oh, it's just a full-on barrage. And as I mentioned with Dizon, that she occasionally has some inconsistencies, and she is not showing them in this match. She has been very solid when the ball comes to her, and she also has the good put-away power. And I also wanted to mention that Tyler Loong, the next to last pick in the MLP draft, Ben Johns could have picked his brother. And I think the reason.
Bring it up.
Of course I got to bring it up.
I'm just being silly.
And I think if this was a pure men's doubles tournament, he would have taken Colin, but this shows his faith in Tyler Loong's mixed doubles play, and I think we're seeing it right now as they take the lead 11-6 on the turn.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in those conversations in the family.
No,
listen, man, I got to do what's best for the team.
Well, and I think it's also an opportunity for Colin to get to showcase his ability. There's been so much conversation that he's a right side specialist. We saw him at times on the left, even just at the Masters not long ago. So it's fun to get to see him in different positions and kind of round out his own game. So I think it's going to pay dividends on both ends.
Great point, Cam. Meghan Dizon back to serve, looking to close out a match victory here against the Vegas Night Owls. They're not going down without a fight, but boy, is it tough when Tyler Loong is playing the way that he is.
Yeah, just a lot of 1-2 stuff. Not a whole lot of lengthy rallies, just incredible power and precision from the Pioneers.
Yates catches the baseline for a momentum boost that the Vegas Night Owls desperately need right now. Is there anything they should be doing differently on their side to exploit the Pioneers? Stratman.
How about this to answer your question, Michelle? Do more of that. How about that? But right now it's weather the storm, and I've seen them go for some power shots early in the point. I would like to see it a little more structured at the kitchen line, as Tyler Loong and Meghan Dizon are really playing quality power shots early in the point.
Well, and to your point, too, you think back to that last rally. Great point construction from Lauren Stratman, continuing to work with those rolls. Tyler Loong cutting those out of the air. She finally found an opportunity, but that's just beautiful play from her.
What an angle from Tyler Loong. And that lengthy lefty paying off once again.
Yeah, nice footwork to set that up. I was scared he was going to go with a backhand, not near as much power there. He moved to his right with a nice lateral sidestep and crushed that forehand.
Just wide for Loong, who went for it that time. And the Vegas Night Owls climbing back into this one, only trailing by 3.
10-13.
What a shot from Meghan Dizon. What'd you like, Cam?
I really like the compactness of both of those strokes. Her first one, because it was so compact, allowed her to be prepared for the second one. That was really nice.
Yeah, and I really like the initial drive from Yates, but I think he's got to be soft on that next ball and get his team to the kitchen line.
Just shy of the net there for Lauren Stratman. So the Pioneers once again on top by 5. Dizon serving to Yates. Well played by Kyle Yates.
And a different look from the Seattle Pioneers. You saw the speed up from Meghan Dizon. She worked her feet all the way around to find that forehand and try and go up the middle. I liked, again, she's got her partner with the forehand up the middle, but they caught him on his backhand side.
What a shot. Meghan Dizon owning that sideline. It's got to be fun being the female partner playing with forehands in the middle, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you like playing on the left.
That's true. I guess more opportunity for shots like that. What a finish. Kyle Yates makes it look effortless.
Yes, nice exchange at the net and a perfect placement from Kyle Yates. Not always easy to hit the inside-out backhand, but with Tyler Loong moving to the middle of the court, Kyle Yates picked the perfect spot.
Stratman will take back the serve to Loong. Not the shot she wanted there.
Yeah, her reaction said it all. Just never felt right. I think we all know that time when we, as we're contacting the ball, we know it's not going to be a good one. I think that was that situation.
That ball sails long. The Vegas Night Owls hanging in. They are 1-1 in the tournament so far for the Night Owls. Into the net goes Stratman. The Pioneers feeling like they're earning that bounce.
I mean, big time counterattack from Meghan Dizon, because Stratman was coming in hot and hit a pretty clean ball. Well played from Meghan.
From Lauren Stratman. Meghan Dizon looks so strong that entire point. Stratman catches her.
Again, just the recoil. Great footwork from Stratman after the first to come back in and close out with that backhand.
Just shy there. Tough miss.
Yeah, tough shot, and man, she was down low. She was in perfect position. You know, sometimes there's a reason you miss, and sometimes you just miss it, and I think that was the situation for Stratman. Tough break at this point in the match.
That ball is called long.
What
Meghan Dizon lost her footing.
No,
and
she's hurting right now. Something took place. Great recovery by her and mental fortitude, because that looked like it actually hurt her.
Yeah, in the middle of that point, just kind of went down funny.
Yeah, I think she stepped wrong with the slight ankle roll. That's happened to me a couple times as well. And obviously, she handled it after, so it wasn't a full roll, but you know, probably tweaked it a little bit on that particular point.
There's nothing else like Major League Pickleball. Check out the incredible fan base we have here in Mesa, Arizona. This atmosphere has been nothing short of electric. I'm so sad that we are matching pants today, me and that lady. Just kidding. I'm not wearing those pants, but I should go to the store and get some because I like those. I don't think I could pull them off like her, though. Anyways.
They might be a little too long for you.
A little too long. The Seattle Pioneers with game point, match point rather, on the paddle of Tyler Loong, looking to close in on this one over the Las Vegas Night Owls. Tyler Loong looking to close in on a match victory. Yates goes for it down the line, almost saved by Lauren Stratman, but how about a finish for the Seattle Pioneers, who took control of this entire game. Meghan Dizon, Tyler Loong won it all for their team in this one. What did you think?
That was incredible, and I know they lost a tight opening match in women's doubles, but if those two ladies play like that in mix, this is going to be an incredibly difficult team to beat in this tournament.
The Seattle Pioneers, the team to beat in Group C, the only team 3-0 at the top of their group. The New Jersey Fives, the only other team right now in the tournament with a perfect 3-0 record. A well-fought battle, and it's almost tough to think of who can take down the Seattle Pioneers and the strength of this team when you have Ben Johns, you have Etta Wright, when you have Meghan, Dizon, and Tyler Loong, who are standing by now with Cameron Blackwood.
Meghan, you're playing mixed, having to be on the left side. How different is that going straight up with Lauren?
Yeah, it's a lot different than what I'm used to, but Ben's given me some tips that I won't share, and it's helping a lot, and me and Tyler just being aggressive and having a ton of fun, so it's been good.
Tyler, Pioneers go 3-0 in group stage play. How special is this team?
Super special. Ben needs to move to Utah because 3 out of the 4 of us are from Utah, so if he can move to Utah, I think we could be a force throughout the year.
There you have it. The Seattle Pioneers take the win. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Woo!